I want to talk about LeBron James's new show on HBO called The Shop. Because if you saw me on Twitter on Tuesday, or I guess it was Wednesday morning at midnight, I tweeted out that I really enjoyed it. I watched it. It was really, really good. You had LeBron and Maverick Carter really, leading a really interesting discussion about, you know, what it's like to be black in America, what it's like to be an athlete, how they're raising their kids, just kind of the general culture around their lives right now. And they also had a really great cast of people around them. Draymond Green was there, Odell Beckham Jr., Candace Parker of the Los Angeles Sparks, Snoop Dogg was there, Vince Staples, another rapper, was there, Gerard Carmichael, who got really famous by doing the play Hamilton on Broadway. He was there as well. And then obviously, you know, they also had Jon Stewart, who was just sitting in the corner cracking jokes the entire show. He was really funny, but the show in general, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was done really well. It was produced very well. I thought the discussion was intelligent. They brought a lot of really interesting points up. It really allowed you to see kind of inside the mind of a superstar athlete right now. I mean, they even brought in Candace Parker, who talked for a couple minutes about her missing an entire year of her career because she was pregnant with her daughter. Like, that is really, I've never heard a story like that before. It was really interesting to hear her talk about that. And then they also had Draymond Green, who started talking about a lot of really interesting things about LeBron. But the number one kind of topic that we saw coming out was LeBron James talking about, you know, him speaking out about social issues and how it kind of changed his perception around NBA circles and in kind of the country in general. And LeBron had a lot of really interesting quotes. He said, quote, "My whole mindset was it's not about me." He also said that his popularity went down after he spoke out. And he talked a lot about the challenges as an athlete of when he felt that it was time for him to start speaking out about social issues and how, you know, he doesn't really care that it affects his overall persona because he knows that he's setting a great example for his kids going forward. He talked a lot about the different people in his life when he was growing up that kind of gave him that inspiration. He talked a lot about Tupac and Biggie. He mentioned how the impact of, you know, how Snoop Dogg's affected his life as well. The two of them are close. So it was a very intelligent conversation. And the more and more I listen to LeBron and the more I kind of see the things he does, he is a very well-spoken and very intelligent guy. And remember, this is not a college-educated guy. He did not go to college. He jumped right from high school to the NBA and has become a billionaire business mogul, is outspoken about social issues, and is just constantly bringing up intelligent point after intelligent point about society today. They finished the show on such a kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? A really impactful point, where LeBron kind of wrapped up the discussion and said, you know, we talk about all these things. We talk about being athletes, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what sport you play as long as you're black in America. And that quote to me to end the episode was just an absolute hammer. Like, it was a great episode. I thought it was a little kind of depressing. Me and James Yoder kind of agreed with it there, but I'm going to watch this episode. I'm going to watch every episode that comes out on Tuesday nights. This is going to be a show that is instantly on every single week for me. I loved it. I can't wait to see where they go for it. I hope Jon Stewart is on every single episode. He was a lot of fun to listen to kind of give a different perspective on things. But knowing LeBron James, he's going to have a lot of really interesting characters on this show. One of those characters was actually Draymond Green, who, man, for someone who has took on LeBron James the last 4 years, I did not expect Draymond Green to be so positive about LeBron James. But he was showering him with praise, and this just goes to show that LeBron James, regardless of who he goes up against and regardless of what team he's on, he's the king. LeBron's the king. And sometimes you got to bow and kiss the ring. But Draymond Green said that LeBron has become LeBron James the past 4 years, and he wants LeBron to tell people that he's the best and really start to let the world know. He's also said it's been really fascinating to watch LeBron find himself over the past couple of years. And I totally agree with Draymond Green. LeBron's really changed his overall demeanor both on and off the basketball court. I really think that he's taken to heart the idea of being an idol for the next generation and being a good father for his kids and setting a good example. Because ever since he's come back to Cleveland, it's just been a whole new person. It feels like he understands the responsibility that he has of being one of the most famous athletes in the world and being so good at what he does. So it was just very interesting to hear Draymond Green, one of his biggest rivals, someone he's had tiffs with during NBA Finals, speak his praises to such a degree. It was very interesting for me to hear. So props to you, Draymond Green, for showing a little bit of humility and talking up LeBron James. Obviously, he was on his TV show, so, take that a little bit with a grain of salt. But let me know in the comment section below, did you watch LeBron James's new show? Give me a Y for yes, give me an N for no. Obviously, I'm throwing up the Y. I love the show, and I really do think that you guys should take a minute or take an hour, maybe take 10 minutes, just go watch a couple snippets of this show. It is definitely worth your time. But what's also worth your time are these Mizzen and Main shirts. Head to www.comfortable.af to get your shirt today. These are the most comfortable dress shirts I've ever worn. I was actually wearing this shirt at night while watching LeBron James' new show. So you don't really have an excuse to not buy one of these shirts. You can wear them whenever. You can wear them wherever. They are fantastic. Go buy yours today. My entire closet is full of these bad boys. Thank you to Mizzen Main for supplying our shirts here at Chat Sports. Let's keep going on with some Lakers rumors. This is kind of the funny story of the week. I was like throwing in one or two funny things. So this gained a lot of traction on Reddit. A Knicks fan went on eBay to sell his fanhood, saying that he was fed up with the Knicks for being bad and that he wanted to go to a different team. So he goes on eBay, he makes a post. This dude sold his fanhood for $3,450. And now he's a Lakers fan. Can I sell my fanhood for $3,400 and become a Lakers fan? That's insane. Who would pay someone $3,400 on eBay to switch fanhoods for an NBA team? That's insane. The internet is such a weird place. But I have a real question here. Is this guy a bandwagon fan? What do you call him now? Because he sold his fanhood, asked everyone to choose what team he should be a fan of, and has obviously had to honor that. So is he a bandwagon fan? Do we call him an eBay fan? I'm not really sure what we classify him. Is he a true Lakers fan? I'm not really sure what he can be deciphered as. But hey, if you can get $3,400 to sell your fanhood on eBay, I mean, hell, you can be whatever you want to be. Let's go to Michael Beasley now, because he had a really interesting quote yesterday about Lonzo Ball. Michael Beasley has actually been in the media a lot recently. He says, quote, "I don't understand how Lonzo gets so much criticism." He went on to say multiple times that he thinks that Lonzo Ball is a very intelligent player. He knows how to play the game. And he also pointed out that Lonzo Ball averaged 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists last season. Malcolm Brogdon, when he won Rookie of the Year, averaged 10 points a game and 3 rebounds. So why are we hating Lonzo Ball so much for having what was still a pretty decent rookie season? He actually had a really good season on the defensive side of the ball, at least, and he's already an elite rebounder for his position. I agree with Michael Beasley. I think we're way too hard on Lonzo Ball. It's probably because of his father, but going forward, Lonzo Ball is still one of the best young point guards in the NBA. I find it interesting that we gave De'Aaron Fox on the Sacramento Kings. We're like, oh yeah, he's not going to have that great of a year. It's fine. But Lonzo Ball had to be, point guard instantly. I don't really agree with that. I'm always on board with allowing young players to develop before having a final opinion on them. Always on board with that. Absolutely. You can make an opinion about Russell Westbrook now because he's been in the NBA for 11 years. But Lonzo Ball after 1, let's wait and see. I think Michael Beasley has a point here. So I mentioned this before in general rumors. Want to bring this back up with a more Lakers standpoint on it. Kawhi Leonard still most likely going to the Lakers or the Clippers next offseason. Now, I talked before how interesting it was that it's gone from just the Lakers to Los Angeles in general. But if you're the Lakers, right, let's say the Raptors go into the All-Star break somehow, or at least into the trade deadline at, I don't know, maybe they're a little bit above a 500 team. Let's say you're the Lakers and you are running away with the West somehow. Let's say that LeBron is taking over Los Angeles. The young kids are really starting to play well. If you're the Lakers, do you just outwardly trade for Kawhi Leonard midseason? Because at this point, we know that this Lakers roster is not going to be able to beat the Warriors in the finals. But if this Lakers team ends up being a lot better record-wise than they anticipated, they could still have a shot at NBA Finals if they trade for Kawhi Leonard. And also, it probably gives them a 100% chance of re-signing him in the offseason. So there's a lot to break down with Kawhi Leonard going forward with this Los Angeles Lakers saga, as we'll begin to call it. But I'm still in the camp that they need to trade for this guy. They cannot lose another marquee free agent to another team. They can't lose Kawhi Leonard to the Raptors. They can't have him wanting to go to the Clippers. They need to have this guy in town if they want a legitimate chance of winning an NBA Finals in the future. So I think they should trade for him, but it still remains to be seen what the Lakers are going to do with Kawhi Leonard.